Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to tomorrow's weather today. Today, I have an update on the winter storm that will be affecting much of the upper Midwest into Michigan. We are starting off with long wave infrared satellite imagery, and we can see our low pressure system out here in California right now, um, bringing a large area of cloudiness into the Four Corners and up into Nebraska. Um, Let me check. I'm going to check on my phone really quickly if precipitation is spreading into this area um, of Colorado, and there is some, which it is um, mainly some snow, especially um, in the northern part. Right in here, you can see those higher cloud tops, indicative of the um, brighter colors of the yellows there. Um, I am getting radar scopes soon on my computer, which will allow me to check radar um, on here, which would help out at the channel. Taking a look at the Weather Prediction Center really quickly, we can see our low pressure. There's a bunch of centers of low pressure, but the one that we saw on satellite is right off the coast of California, with the main one surface right along the Four Corners, with the cold front extending downwards and a warm front into Texas from there, with some snow and some mixed precipitation headed out in front of that. Tomorrow we could see a large area where the dashed is freezing rain. We're seeing the possibility of some thunderstorms in Texas and Oklahoma. Freezing rain for all this area possibly, and then snow for a large area all the way from Arizona, New Mexico, all the way up to Michigan. Some heavier pockets of snow, especially in Iowa and South Dakota, looking possible. And we're going to be taking a look at the freezing rain forecast and how much the National Weather Service is predicting. And if we go over to the National Weather Service watches and warnings, we can see a large area of winter weather advisories extending um, from eastern California into Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and all the way up through Michigan and Wisconsin, um, and an area of uh, winter storm warnings for Iowa. And this is where I believe the heaviest snow will fall for this storm. And the National Weather Service agrees with me, saying on Twitter a significant winter storm, you can't see it, it's cut off by the screen. Let me move that over. Significant winter storm will impact the Central Plains and Midwest tomorrow into Wednesday. 4 to 8 inches of snow is forecasted with 8 inches plus, and freezing rain is likely. And we can see that in this forecast here, many areas where freezing rain is possible, a hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch of ice, um, and in some areas in northern Missouri and southern Kansas, up to a quarter of an inch, and even some in Missouri and Kansas, up to a half an inch of ice, which is damaging to tree limbs. Any amount of ice is damaging on the roadways. Um, excuse me, and so people should not be driving. If you live in these areas, do not be driving um, through if do not drive if you do not have to, because the roads will be slick and it will be dangerous. We can see a large area of accumulating snow. Anywhere circled is going to get above an inch likely, um, and we can see where that heavier snow that they were outlining on the WPC um, of 6 to 10 inches, possibly up to a foot. Um, this area, South Dakota, 6 to 8 inches, and then 8 to 12. Um, in Iowa, northwestern, extreme northwestern parts of Illinois, and southwestern Wisconsin. Now, what are our models saying? We could take a look at the GFS here, and we could take a look at the NAM shortly too, but we could see our low pressure system right here in California, um, and then redevelop as a Colorado low tomorrow morning with a nice stream of moisture headed in from the Gulf of Mexico. Um, with probably a warm front in there and then a cold front extending downwards. And this warm front is going to allow this freezing rain to develop in this area, and we can see that developing there on the GFS. If we take a GFS sounding, we will take a look at the NAM where it's going to be more precise. Here's our 0 degree isotherm, which is just a fancy term for temperature line, and we can see that at the surface it is below freezing, and then at about a few kilometers up there is a layer of where it is above freezing, which will melt the frozen precipitation, which is going to be frozen all of here, and then it's going to melt here and then not be able to freeze again before it hits the ground. But at this time, snow is going to be headed into the Dakotas and Iowa and Nebraska. And if we take a look, um, this is a lot. We're going to talk about this tomorrow, this potential winter storm with an ice threat in this area. But you can see, which is just a developing low off this cold front from this exiting system. But this should be done by um, tomorrow or Wednesday evening. And the GFS is calling for just a general 1 to 4 inches with that pocket of 6 to 12 in Iowa. This could shift to the north, I think, um, but this is just one model, and it is the GFS. Let's go over to the CMC. Taking a look, it's looking like a similar situation. Um, yeah, we'll definitely take a look at this storm tomorrow. But total snowfall again, 6 to 12 inches in Iowa. Let's take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer. Let's zoom in here to the upper Midwest. We can see some freezing rain, possibly heavy at times, getting its act together tomorrow morning. In Kansas, if we take just a quick sounding in here, I think this will show it better. Yeah, you can see this, again, here's our 0 degree isotherm, and you can see this area right here of warm air. So, and this is being caused by, let's take the larger picture here. There is a warm front, I want to say, um, in this area, I think. Let me just take this and then let's see if I can picture this. If let's say, oops, let me do that again. So we can see our front right. There's a front right in there, I believe. Um, oh, it's right here. And this warm air is going on top of it. Um, so the warm air, you can see the thickness lines, which is just basically average temperature between the 1000 millibar and 500 millibar layer. Um, they're basically left to right, while our um, isobars are out of the south. This is causing warm air to be pushed up over top of this warm front, because warm fronts are basically they're like this, and the warm air has to go over it because the cold air is denser, which is going to be down here. So the warm air goes above the cold air, which is what's giving that look on the sounding. Moving this ahead, heavy snow moving into southern Iowa and southeastern Nebraska, right here by mid-morning. And then it looks like a mix will move over into Iowa mid-afternoon into evening, into southern Iowa with some freezing rain following behind the heavy snow. And it all moves out by midnight Wednesday or Thursday. Again, in general, 1 to 4 inches for most areas, just a quick coating to 4 inches, and then we have our main band of 6 to 12 inches. I'm guessing probably 10 inches at a maximum, and I'm going to guess that's going to be right in this area. Um, that's just my guess. I didn't make a snowfall map because this was just a quick um, impromptu video that I didn't think I was going to end up making today, but I had time on my hands, so I ended up doing it. So taking a look at the European, again, we can see our freezing rain and our snow ending tomorrow night. Just take a look at, at our winter weather here, accumulated snowfall. Again, 6 to 10 inches at a maximum, maybe some more, maybe about a foot in higher elevations, but a general 1 to 4 inches for Minnesota and the Dakotas, and then that swath of heaviest um, snow in Iowa, northern Illinois, and southern Wisconsin. But that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a new video. And, wow, there are possibly major snowstorms hitting the western coast, Vancouver area. But make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications and leave a comment down below how much snow have you gotten this winter so far. Thank you all for watching.